and Life Questions, of course, is this edition of Breath of Heaven. Hoping that you're keeping well. Thank you so much for getting in touch with us, even for watching us on live stream right now, because we are doing this also on Facebook and also on YouTube. So if you get to at Hope FM Live, you can definitely engage with us there. It's time for us to reflect, and we want to reflect on the word of the Lord right here on this third hour where we do the praying. Now, in John 12:27-30, we see Jesus agonizing, and he begins by saying in verse 27, "Now my soul is troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour? No, it was for this very reason I came to this hour. Father, glorify your name." Then a voice came from heaven, "I have glorified it and will glorify it again." The crowd that was there and heard it said it had thundered. Others said an angel had spoken to him. Jesus said, "The voice was for your benefit, not mine." Now is the time for judgment on this world. Now the prince of this world will be driven out, and I, when I'm lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself. He said this to show the kind of death he was going to die. And Jesus bore the gravity of sin. And as much as it would not be easy, or I would say, as much as it would be easy to ask his Father to not commit the assignment, he faced the reality of dying by crucifixion. When the voice spoke to him, it was his Father who answered him in the affirmative. He answered him in the hearing of those with him for their benefit, that they would believe. Way earlier, Christ had just raised Lazarus from the dead. And while the chief priests saw many believing and coming to Jesus, it worried them that they even planned how to get rid of Christ and Lazarus, for that matter. And I wondered what they were high priests for. For the Bible says that they loved the praises of men rather than the praises of God. Still, Jesus encountered an awful lot of unbelief from the people who he ministered to, which is why the miracles were done to fend this off. Even the Pharisees and other religious leaders of Jewish ancestry always tried to water down what Jesus had done by advancing the law of Moses. Thanks be to God that Jesus pressed on with this assignment to go to the cross. And he knew that he had to pay the ultimate price, and that was to die so that he could save you and I. And even by all standards, to date, if you consider punishment by crucifixion, which is no longer carried out to punish those who are offenders of the law in society, but by all standards, if you consider that death in and of itself, it was such a cruel death. But he carried the cross for you and for me, so that today we would believe. Today, can we believe upon him? Do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe that he is the answer? Do you believe that he can address the things that you're facing? Do you believe he is Lord, that by his death on the cross and his rising again, he became Lord of everything? Does your faith get stirred up when you listen to the story of the cross? Or are you battling unbelief as the Pharisees did of the day? And, it amazed Jesus that even in his home village, he could not do many miracles because of their unbelief. So even it was at this critical time, there were still many people who were unbelieving. They doubted. Even within his own circle, we saw an apostle by the name of Thomas who doubted, a disciple who doubted. So we thank God that this did not stop Christ from dying for us. And he, went with the assignment, went through obedience to the cross, obedience unto death, so that we would not perish. Now, to whom is this gospel given? Of course, it is to all those people who believe, because there are those who still to date, having had the account or having had that, God sent his begotten Son and he died for us. And whoever believes will not perish and have everlasting life. They still doubt. So I pray that our faith will be stirred up tonight. It's coming up.